Hey, this is Jay Lee. Hope all is well. I just wanted to go over a couple of things that we ended up seeing on June 13th over at Hollydale Park over in Southgate. First of all, it was very refreshing getting out there over at Hollydale Park. It's like one of my favorites. It's definitely a hot spot for UFOs. And I wanted to thank everyone for helping out and being there with us and sharing their stories. And, we always have a great time together. I would say we probably saw about 50 objects, maybe even a little bit more. Very, very active day. LA Unified School District ended up finishing up school on the 11th, a couple of days ago, so I suspect that this is a big graduation weekend. So what we have to do is we have to discern between the real objects and the not real objects. But you have to keep in mind that over at Hollydale Park, we're not in a funnel. The graduation balloons don't all funnel into our little area. People have to keep in mind that we're a little less than 15 miles away from the ocean. We called for the UFOs to come to our location. For those who think that these are all balloons, you should be able to drive 2 miles north of us or 2 miles south of us and see the same amount of objects. In fact, if you were more inland, you should have probably seen a little more. There was definitely an onshore breeze, and there was definitely a lot of objects coming from the west and heading toward the east. What we were concentrating on was the objects that came from the east and headed west, probably about a mile or two up in the sky. But I have to say, despite the onshore breeze, objects that did come from the west and the east ended up stopping and doing weird formations. The only thing is, they look like normal objects. It kind of reminds me of what a Navy pilot ended up capturing at 50,000 feet back in 2018. What he was chasing was a mylar-looking object. If I would have shown this to you, you would have blown this off. But the indication of imitation is the fact that it's at 50,000 feet. The highest mylar balloon can go maybe 26,000 feet, which is very, very high, and that he was chasing it. People have to realize that these things mimic. What may look like a balloon may not be a balloon. They're far advanced than we are, whether it's biological or mechanical. So here's the first one I wanted to show you. If I would have noticed it, I would have said something. So I would say the object that I'm focusing on was probably about a mile and a half away. And the flyby was probably close to equidistant. To me, the object that I was focusing on looked like a star balloon, but the object that was flying by looked metallic also, probably mechanical. Although it was out of focus, it produced the same shininess. Something that I noticed that when these objects came from the east and head west, against the onshore breeze, many of these objects did not have tethers. And kind of brings up the reason why. 100% of the balloons that are sold in stores come with tethers. So how come all these objects came without tethers? To me, it's abnormal to see a balloon without a tether. What are the chances of you seeing a balloon? And what are the chances of you seeing a balloon without a tether? Here's one that not only didn't have a tether, but it didn't even have a tether tag. It looks like we got a little visitor at our event. The owner did not reveal themselves to us, but I suspect that they were in the aqueduct right next to us across the fence. But this one was really amazing. Not only was it watching us, it really did some incredible acrobatics. This was the fastest drone I've ever seen. Another reason why I like Hollydale Park, it's on the flight path for LAX. It forces our eyes to focus on the planes that fly by. I think this helps acclimate our eyes to objects and makes UFOs easier to see. So here's some footage that my friend Jimmy ended up capturing as the planes flew by. He used a Nikon P900. So here's my last one. This is another one that came from the east and head west. It looked a little strange, but it doesn't matter. You have to videotape it anyway. One of the things I did notice was an object that stayed equidistant away from this main object. As I began to zoom, this flyby ended up flying in. So I was able to capture it and I zoomed in on it. I don't know. What do you think? Anyway, I hope you liked the video. Please come join us over at LA UFO channel on meetup.com. There's always some great people there. There's always a lot to learn. Typically when we go, it's at a hot spot. If you've never seen a UFO or you would like to see another UFO, you gotta come to one of these events. Our next one is at the end of July, so we'll see you there, okay? Bye-bye.